On Arbitrage, we've been talking about how to generate cash flow for the business for a while, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys through a process of me doing it on the lead gen side with leads, arbitraging media. So ultimately, it's going to be a step-by-step process where we ultimately identify buy side, then we find sell side, and then we make a middle and we generate a lead for one price and we sell it for a higher price. And then that in between, that difference, is the arbitrage of where we're going to be profitable. I've been talking about this for a while. There's steps to take. I'm going to show you guys how we go about doing this so you guys can see how it works, how we go about doing everything. You could do it in a lot of different ways, but today we're going to do it where we're out there in a step-by-step process figuring out how to find a home for leads that we have. We already have the leads, right? We're already generating the leads. So the first thing we need to do on the lead side is to figure out what is the value per lead that we currently are getting. Now, that doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to get the same value per lead for other people that we send the leads to, other companies, because of the way that this business works, which is you generate a lead, we post that lead, their call room dials out on that lead, then it's all based on what the conversion rate is for them to close a sale and what the value of that sale is, so that it then would back out to whatever that cost per sale for them is, they're allowable, that they're going to pay us. So when we're doing that, there's going to be a value per lead that we generated for them. So that's what we got to go off to start, right? But that doesn't mean necessarily that we're going to see moving forward. Number two is we need to understand on the leads that we're generating what it is costing us. So what's the cost per lead? When we look at that, we're going to be able to see, all right, I'm pretty sure we're generating like, I don't know, 5,000 to 10,000 leads a day. These leads are coming from a bunch of different sources. So each source is going to have a value today to us, right? So we'll be able to see what the revenue per lead is by that source, what the cost per lead is. So that's going to be important because of where we're at today, of what the expectations are on how we can move forward with the business and what's going on in the landscape of this particular deal. In the scenario where we lose a buyer, well, we have to replace that buyer. Where else can we send those leads? Normally, it would be great if we had multiple buyers in certain areas so that if one leaves, we just can second man up. We need to figure out what buyers we have currently. So we have relationships with buyers. So we're going to look at it like that. So we'll look at the relationships, the buyers that we currently have, and we can have a conversation. Number two is we want to look at what other buy side is out in the market from a direct buyer, whatever the vertical is. You're going to look for the direct buyers. Okay. So in that scenario, we're going to have to create a list of all of the buyers out in the marketplace, identify who they are, try to get in touch with them. We're going to call them up. We're going to have a conversation with them. We're going to explain to them what we have available to them to have or not. They could say yes or no. They could tell us however they want the deal to be structured. And then we can agree or disagree on if we want to move forward with that particular buyer. If we can't find direct buyers, we could look for brokers who is willing to buy the lead. Usually a broker is going to pay less for the lead. Very normal. But with that said, sometimes if you can find a home, can sustain the business for short term, we work to find other buy side as we continue on, right? So you're always trying to fill the buy side as much as you can because of these situations. We could look and see if a broker is willing to pay for a lead what we are currently paying to generate that lead. Likely going to be challenging, right? But with that said, maybe we do it in a way where we structure it where we'll sell to 2 to 3 brokers and it won't be exclusive. And if we don't do it exclusively, then that could add up to us being profitable with the leads short term as we figure out what we want to do when you lose like a key buyer like this. Number 3, communicating with different call centers where they may want to buy the lead. Whether they want to buy the lead for them to work the lead for credit repair. So they call, dial, qualify, send them out. Or they could do it where they're interested in buying the lead, potentially trying to get them to take another offer afterwards, whether they take it or not. That's the conversation that we need to have with the call centers. And ultimately, there could be other ways we could potentially do this, but if that's where my mind goes right now of the 3 ways to find a home for some of these leads. If you guys have any other ideas, I'm all open to it. I think this is a good place to start. So what we need to do, put together a list of all the buy side of direct buyers. We want another list of call centers, a third list of anybody that's on the broker side. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the marketplace and we're going to position this as we have leads to sell, get feedback on who's open to buying these leads, how much cap, is there any restrictions, etc., etc. We have to explain ultimately what is it, our brand. We have a brand, then how we're generating these leads. These leads are coming through, and then we have back-end buyers, and now we're looking to fill some inventory because we have excess inventory for what's happening on the back end of our buyers. What we're going to do is go out and get feedback on how people are working today. So some might want to tell you that they're going to pay you on a cost per sale. Some might tell you that they want to buy it on a cost per lead. I'd say the majority of people will likely fall towards a cost per sale, and in that case it becomes a bit more challenging because we don't know what their conversion rates are going to look like to determine what it's going to back out for us. I'm not opposed to it, however we'll likely have to scale back on some of the volume if we can't find a home within the next few days. With that said, I just wanted to kind of like get a powwow here, give you guys a high level what we're doing, so that we can kind of go through this step by step with a process for two reasons. One is for the immediate excess leads that we have that we're going to look for a home for. And if there's anybody else that wants it, right? Like when I say brokers, really anybody in the market, there's a lot of people that may be interested in buying these leads in some capacity. When we go and look for this stuff, we're going to do it on this particular vertical. We've been working hard to go and get all these other buyers for all these other advertisers. And I think it's low-hanging fruit for us to be able to just create some cash flow for what we have going on here. I'd say the fourth thing we could do, set up deals when we talk to like a call center. We do a deal where they qualify the leads and then transfer those leads out to the back-end buyers. And then in that case, we would have to have a pay-per-call deal. When we're talking to people on the back end, we're looking to do it on getting paid on a direct lead that we would post to them, and we're looking to get paid if we qualify the lead and then we transfer them, or we drive an inbound call on a PPC, pay per call. What does that look like? What are the terms for that specific payout? So pay per call, pay per lead, pay per sale. Those are the three models that we're looking at, hearing, trying to understand what's out there, and then we can kind of make a decision on who it is we want to work with, or it could be multiple people that we test to see, and then we go at it. I just want to put a plan together here so that we can take a few hours to go after it, divide and conquer, and see what we come back with. First thing is we need to take that list, look at that list to see what is out there, who have we spoken to, who do we need to speak to, and do some outreach. I want to put together a quick little script for you on how you're going to go about calling and asking the right questions to determine if it's worthwhile to speak to them or not. If it is, then we will get on a call. We'll work closely with that. So when we're calling these people to tell them what we have going on, we're telling them that we have our own brand, Advance My Credit, where we're generating leads on behalf of Advance My Credit. Ultimately, we're getting people to sign up, saying that they have some negative marks on their credit report that they're looking to get removed and would like to receive a credit consultation. Negative marks, want them removed, speak to credit expert. That's what we're doing when we're talking to people. We want to do host and post. Right now, from who we're working with. All right, so we're closing about, depending on the source that we have, anywhere from 0.5% up to like 2%, depending on the partner, the traffic sources, and the back end closers. That's really what it comes down to for us right now. I'd say host and post, currently close rate is 0.5 to 2%. We would like to get paid anywhere from like 35 to 75 cents. 75 cents for these leads. On the cost per sale, it's about 125 to, realistically 125 to 150 is probably like a good number for a company. But the problem is these, it's harder to do this. This is where I'd like to be. I'm not opposed to taking less. We have to. And then working it to be like backing it out to their cost per sale. And then you just want to know if they want it non-exclusive, if they want delayed, so not real time, that could be a conversation. But like those aren't as exciting right now. Like we're getting the sales, but then the people are supposedly bailing and not paying. So they're becoming like zero paid clients. That's the deal with this, right? The other way I talked to was having somebody take our data and then SMSing it to then drive an inbound call. So that's another option. What are they willing to pay us on an inbound call? Okay, and are they paying on a time or sale? We're trying to find the buyers. Ultimately, we have more than one buyer. They don't need to know who's buying our leads. They don't need to know how we're generating our leads. Bottom line is we're generating leads. We will drive an inbound call. We're looking for people that want to buy host and post. We're selling the traffic for 35 to 75 cents. That's the first initial. If they want to pay on a sale, you can find out what that is. You can put them into the back end, maybe test it, but that's not what we're looking for. Right now, we're looking immediately for someone to buy the leads. If it's a call center, same thing. Just what are they willing to pay for us to post that into their database? If not, what are the other deals? Try to find buyers and then come back. If you're not sure on what you need to say, you should write up something of exactly how the conversation is going to go, which I was going to do. Hey, how are you? We've got leads. I'm generating credit repair leads from my own offer, Advance My Credit. We're looking for buyers. Are you interested in buying leads? The answer should be yes or no. No, we don't buy leads, but we will pay you on a sale. What are you paying per sale, and what is your conversion rate? We need to know what their conversion rate is going to be, at least what they think it's going to be. How many callers, if they can handle the leads. If we send them 5,000 leads in a day, can they handle those 5,000 leads? If they're taking inbound calls, are they paying on a buffer? So 60 seconds, someone stays on, what are you willing to pay us? 15, 20, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, or is it on a sale? Either way, we don't have a lot of choice right now, so just get as much info as we can from every buyer. The way you position is, all right, great, well, I can take whatever you want. I mean, I'll tell you right now, the best way for you to do it is just buy the leads. That's guaranteeing you getting the leads. Otherwise, we can put you in the flow and see how it shakes out. But there's a lot more that goes into it just than whatever you're willing to pay. Because even if you are willing to pay the most, it still matters what your conversion rate is, and we're ultimately going to back it out into a CPL anyway. It's still going to have to back out to this 35 to 75 cents at the very minimum in that range. And we've had higher, and that's true, we have had higher, and then it's just based on who's performing the best.